대박 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 빠빠이. 아이씨 물이 안 떠져. 자. 아 잠깐 물이 안 떠져. 이 아직 물이 안 떠져. 씨 오늘 할 게임이 문제가 아니라 물이 안 떠져. 물! 이! 아니야 이거 엔딩 루트예요. 아. 비타민 데코야 약 먹어. 하이 아리가또. 감사합니다. 약 먹어. 엔딩 루트입니다. 엔딩 루트. 엔딩 루트인데 이제 이걸 찾아야 돼요. 메인 모니터에 둔대. 진짜 너무한다. 진짜 니들은 진짜 너무한다. 니들은 하이 니들은 나쁜 자식들. 심한 말, 험한 말, 나쁜 말.
That's quite an impressive bow you have there.
와, 캬, 펴 할 때 아니야 아직. 와, 캬, 펴 할 때 아니야 아직. 응. 길 아닌데야? 아니야 아직 아니야. 지금 아니야. 아니 그렇게 게임을 해놓고 길을 모르냐 일단. 있다.
Just as the ocean
대양이 온 세상의
accepts the
가물을
rivers of all
받아들이는
the
것처럼
world,
이것도 모든
so
영혼을
this
받아들인다.
place accepts all the souls, but it does not notice the crowds that come.
하지만 다가오는 군중을 알아차리지 못해. 여기가 어딘지 알아냈어.
Say it. Speak its name.
조승이야.
Then it is true. I was right.
그래.
I thought I saw it, but when the rest of them could not, I kept thinking I must have gone
이
insane.
저승이에요.
I had to tell myself it was true over and over again.
사실 사람들이 다
Until I
죽었어요.
wasn't sure if I was deceiving myself. I must apologize if my words seem cryptic. I'd found comfort in reciting the metamorphoses by our great
내가
poet
죽이진
Ovid.
않았어.
He gives
아니, 그건
such an
아니야.
uncanny description
아니,
of this
내가
place.
죽이진 않았어.
I cannot help but wonder if he himself
여기 있는
came
사람들
here.
공통점이 로마에서
like to
대화제가
hear it?
났을 때 어디냐? 그 몽강이냐? 거기로 뛰쳐 들어갔던 사람들. 그런 사람들이 많고 어쨌든
I will
죽은
do my
사람들.
best to remember the relevant verse. There is a downward path, gloomy with fatal yew trees. It leads through dumb silence to the infernal regions.
얘들아
The sluggish
게임
Styx
보지도 않으면서
exhales
갑자기 왜
vapor,
보는 척해?
and by
죽고
that
싶어?
way, the shadows of the newly
죽고
dead
싶어?
descend, entombed with full rites, and the ghosts of those, at last, given proper burial. The wide, thorny waste is cold and pale, and the
아
newly
어제는
arrived
근데
shades are
재밌었어. 재밌었어.
of the road that leads to
어제는
the Stygian
재밌었어.
city,
어제 엔딩
where
진짜
Black
너무
Dis
재밌었어.
has his cruel palace. As the ocean accepts the rivers of all the world, so this place accepts all the souls, and is never too small for any populace, nor notices the crowds that come.
아 근데 어제 엔딩은 진짜
There the
재밌었어.
bloodless shadows wander without flesh or
두
bone.
번째.
Some crowd the forum, some the house of the ruler of the depths.
어제
Others
다
follow
죽였어.
their trades, imitating their previous lives. And still
어제
others
다
incur
죽였어.
punishment. I hope I
울산
have done
엔딩
it justice,
같습니다 어제.
and now we share a secret. It's as if you've lifted a great burden from my shoulders. Thank you, friend. I think I should rest.
됐고. 명판을 이제 찾으면 되나? 이제 명판을 찾고 명판을 이거 다 찾으면 이걸 할 수 있거든요? 그럼 이제 엔딩이 나올 겁니다. 그러니까 명판을 찾으러 가야 되고 있습니다. 뭐해?
Feeling all right?
왜 아닌데?
That's a
아 여기 있다.
Name's Rufius.
명판 위치.
No idea what you're talking.
제발요. 내가 고쳤나?
What? That was Galerius, not you.
누가 줄게? 니 양 누가 줄게?
He got it from you. I guess
누가
you did that, maybe.
줄게? 그거 누가
I
줬을까?
think I have seen that plaque. Sorry, I lied. Can't be too careful these
극장
days.
뒤편 동굴에서
Heading to the
두
caves
갈람
behind the
두
theater.
갈람길
Turn right,
모두
then right
오른쪽으로
again.
꺾게.
Oh, and here, you'll need this key. You didn't get that from me.
알았어요, 감사. 갈게.
See you.
그럼 다른 애들 안 봐도 되는 건가? 극장 뒤편의 동굴에서 극장 뒤편 동굴?
Whatever's in that great temple up there on the bluff, I bet it's worth a fortune.
극장의 뒤편의 동굴이 이쪽 말하는 건가? 오른쪽으로? 오른쪽. 아, 안 보여. 오른쪽. 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 싸서 올라가서 어머야. 찾았다. 라틴어로 부의 아버지 플루토라고 새겨져 있는 명판. 멋있어. 나 너무 멋있어. 완전 멋있어. 바로바로 찾는 수준. 완전 멋있어. 문 열고. 뭐야. 놓고. 이쪽이 나가는 길인가? 자, 이제 와캬펴 치면 돼. 와캬펴! 그리스 명판. 여기 있다.
Hello?
얘기 좀 해.
Hello? Have we met before?
보물
My
이야기.
friend Hannibal used to look after me. He said, if any, he gave me this key and made all now.
이거 아닌데?
Bye bye.
얘가 말 안 해줬는데?
Bye bye.
얘 아닌가?
Sometimes I stare at the great temple on the bluff, and I think
얘인가?
Greetings and greetings.
it has to be important.
My friend,
그리스
and in a
명판이요.
city full of Romans you are asking me? Because I am Greek. Let me tell you something about Greeks and Romans. My name is Georgios, yes. But the Romans, they do not care. They hear me say Georgios, and they think, ah, he must mean Georgius. Good Roman name. They do this all the time. They see us worshipping Zeus. I am flattered that they copy our
명판
ideas,
어딨냐니까
but why
뭔...
must they change the names? Do they want credit for making it all up? Do they want to forget where it came from?
딴방
At
안
first, I
보냈는데?
pull my hair out. After a while, I give up, and I become Georgius the Roman. I accept the world is Roman. Plus, I have no hair left to pull. But my point is this. If you want to know who stole an old Greek name, look no further than the sticky-fingered Romans. The plague you seek was pilfered from a collection of old Greek relics by none other than Dully.
둘리가 슬쩍 했대.
He cannot help it. Like a typical Roman, he
둘리가
likes
가져갔다는데,
shiny things,
명판?
especially those that once belonged to my people. And besides, it makes him happy. So I say, let him keep it. I believe he still has it
데메테르
in his
신전
head,
맞은편
in his cell,
감옥에
just
서
opposite the Temple of Demeter. I hope
둘리가 가져갔다는데? 뭐야? 아, 쟤 뒤에 있다.
again, friend. How is it you're a
넘겨.
Hello?
anyway. Oh, now.
저기 있다. 쟤 뒤에 있다.
Hello? Do you
명판
like
줘.
it?
내놔.
If I gave it to you, then I wouldn't have it anymore, and I'd be sad. But it's mine.
뭘 줄까?
Well,
꺼내달라고? 센티우스가 안 풀어줄 것 같은데?
Galerius? Yeah, Galerius will let me out. Then you can.
그럼 얘가 일단 나와야 되네? 아, 나 환자있네. 표 모자르던데.
wonder how much
Yeah.
one of these statues is worth on the outside. Centius, I suppose.
얘가 바꿔는데 바꿔.
And what's he gonna
선물을 드리면 마음
Certainly.
바뀔까?
for a few thousand?
3천 나 얼마 있지? 4천 있었나? 3천 줄게.
Pleasure doing business.
아, 줘 그냥.
Very well.
그리고 투표 열어. 여는데 얼마 있어 나? 내 돈! 아씨. 씨. 열어. 이제 열어. 저번 회차 때 동률이었으니까 지금 하면은 되지 않나? 근데 얘네가 문제인데? 얘네가 자꾸 죽여. 얘가 문제야. 얘가 자꾸 죽이거든요? 이걸 어떻게 해결하지? 얘네를 해결해야 되는데.
Citizen,
Don't believe a word they tell you.
갈레리우스가 뽑히면 쟤네가 안 죽이나? 방법이 없나? 어떤 방법이 없나? 쟤 활을 쏠 수도 없고.
Oh, you're here. And there's a... Well... So you do. And that would make you... Maybe if you... Let's just forget...
그래.
Not for a few weeks now. I remember because they kept looking over their shoulders as if they didn't want anyone else to know. So,
어떻게 해결하지,
naturally, I
쟤네를?
hovered. The one word I kept hearing was vanishing. And then, the next day, Kabash just disappeared. Coincidence? I think not. All right. See ya.
쟤네를 어떻게 처리를 할까? 어떻게 처리를 할까? 분명히 또 난리 칠 건데, 아, 씨. 근데 내가 3,000데나리가 지금 뺏겼잖아, 아, 씨. 방법이 없어.
That light! Did you steal it from the gods? I saw you and... Oh, anyway. What? In the rock tunnel, near the stairs, there's a little doorway set into the rock. Inside, if you look carefully, you... Unfortunately, one of those golden huntress statues is blocking the path. And I'm not game to move it. If you can figure out how to get past it, I reckon there might... Alright.
마취를 갑자기 왜?
Don't believe a word they tell you.
이거를 치우면 내 거란 소린데, 이거를 치우란 소린데, 여기에 돈이 있다는 소린데, 이거를 어떻게 치우지? 뭘로 치우지? 저기에 돈이 있거든요? 근데 내가 이것 때문에 갈 수가 없어. 얘를 어떻게 치우라는 거지? 안 밀어지고 안 들어져. 미친, 나 좋은 생각 났어. 이거 황금률 발동할 때 얘네 다 움직이잖아. 그때 들어가서 돈 먹으면 안 돼? 진짜 천재야? 몰라 사실. 사실 몰라. 사실 몰라. 화살 쏘는 건 아는데 사실 잘 몰라.
You look well, my sartorial friend. Hello. Ah, I knew this day would come. I do not wish. Please, let us leave. Very well. But for several months now, I have been sneaking out at night to worship the gods of my ancestors in the temple of Demeter. Each day, I leave offerings of food in the hope that we may have a bountiful harvest. And yet the next day, when I return, the food is missing. The offering, it is symbolic, you see. So I ask, who? Stranger still.
100개의 눈이 달린 아르고스처럼 새벽까지 가게 앞을 지키고 선 적이 있어요. 도둑을 잡아낼 수 있을까 해서요. 그날 제가 뭘 봤는지 아세요? 심장이 안 가는데요. 아무것도 못 봤어요. 누구도 신전에 들어가지 않았는데 가서 보면 재물은 사라져 있단 말이죠. 기괴한 일 아닌가요? 주점에서 제 친구 카와시한테 이 얘기를 했더니 도와주겠다고 나서더라고요. 그리고 신전 안으로 들어갔는데 그 이후로 못 봤어요. 내가 가볼까? 내가 가보자 그러면. 아니 꼈니? 뭐 어떻게 가니? 아 여기가 신전이었구나. 아 내가 뭐 어쩌라고. 지하야? 뭐 어쩌라는 거야? 뭐 어쩌라는겨? 단서를 찾으라고? 단서? 쪽문이 있네? 이런 뽀록은 뭐지? 아니? 그냥 벽 타고 지나다닐라 했는데. 와, 캬파야! 지금이야. 와, 캬파야. 네, 지금이야. 미라? 뭐 이러냐? 이거 뭐냐? 이거 뭐야? 노인이 뭐야? 조용감 뭐야? 용감?
You carry the gift of Prometheus in your hand. Welcome.
데쿠요.
It's sincere. Tell me.
어이하에 이 지하까지 내려왔나? 명판을 찾고 있어.
Ah, yes. That
어디 있는지 알고 있대.
I know exactly where it is. I will tell you everything I know.
부탁이 있다고?
First, a request. I have been living down here alone for many years, with nobody to talk to but myself. The one thing I long for above all
철학적 논쟁을 나누고 싶다고?
is a good
아,
philosophical
참나.
argument with somebody as
사람 잘 만났네.
I'm hoping that person is you. Let us find out with this simple question. Have you deduced the name of the god
황금률을
responsible for the
만든
golden
신이
moon?
누군지 추측해본 적 있냐고? 플루토요.
Excellent. I see you are indeed quite astute.
태양이 지기
Very
전까지도
few come to
깨닫는
that
이들이 드문데
realization
말이야.
before their time. Now, will
그럼 이
you
노인과
join me
같이
in a
선문답이나
friendly
나눠보겠나? 필요하다면 그야시죠.
Wonderful. Then let me begin with a question. Would you say you know the
자네는
difference
옳음과
between
그름의 차이를
right and
말해줄 수
wrong?
있나? 네!
And to what extent? In
어디까지
every
적용할 수 있지?
situation?
모든 경우를 아우를 수 있나? 대부분 그렇죠.
So, you're not entirely confident. That is quite sensible. Indeed, I'm reminded
하,
of something
현명하대.
Socrates once
헤.
said. To paraphrase, better to know that you know nothing than to know nothing and think that you know. It is because knowledgeable people have learned enough to know they know very little. In the broader scheme of things, You see, out there in the world, being uncertain about right and wrong was acceptable.
할아버지는 지하에
Because our
있으면서
mistakes
현자가
rarely had
돼버린겨?
consequences. So we would tell lies and bend rules and turn a blind eye and rationalize, and yet still find a way to think of ourselves as good people. But under the golden rule, morality matters. The slightest wrongdoing could result in a mass execution. So to navigate this maze, we would have to be certain
그러면
about
여기가
the difference between
저승이면
right and wrong. Wouldn't you agree?
나쁜 짓 하면 지옥 보내려고 그거 되는 거야? 그럼요.
So let me ask you this.
불변하며 한치의 오차 없는 유일한 도덕 체계란 존재하는 것일까? 어떤 상황이든 옳은 길로 이끄는 도덕 말일세. 아니, 존재하진 않아. 그렇진 않은 것 같아.
Are you sure? Or is it possible that humans simply haven't
인간이
figured
올바른
out the right
체제를
system
찾지
yet?
못했을 뿐이라는 게인가? 아씨 머리 아플라 그래. 씨. 올바른 도덕? 올바른 도덕? 아니? 이걸 구글 검색까지 할 필요가 있어? 생각하면 되지. 자, 생각을 해봐. 도덕이라는 게 그런 거잖아. 그런 거잖아요. 착한 일 같은 그런 거잖아. 근데 쉽게 예시를 들면 빨간불일 때 내가 건널목을 건넜어. 그러면 도덕적으로 위반되는 행동이죠. 근데 내가 어디가 아파. 그래서 어쩔 수 없이 빨간불일 때 건넜어. 그럼 이 사람이 나쁜 사람일까? 이게 나쁜 사람일까? 상황에 따라 이거는 되게 달라지지 않나요? 상황에 따라 다르지 않아? 봐봐. 경찰이 신호위반하는 차를 잡았어. 잡았는데 그 차 안에 이제 응급 상황이 벌어진 거야. 그러면 경찰이 이 사람을 잡아갈까? 오히려 길을 터주지 않을까? 그치, 이게 뭐가 옳다 그르다 이렇게 말하는 거는 상황에 따라 다 다르지 않아? 그러니까 법이 문제가 아니라 지금 도덕을 얘기하는 거잖아. 법은 그거잖아. 이거 법 조항에 이게 있고 이거를 위반할 때 네가 벌금이나 그거에 대한 형을 살 거다 이거잖아. 근데 도덕은 그건 아니잖아. 그러니까 지금 얘기하는 게 도덕이잖아. 그러니까 예시를 그렇게 드는 거지. 그러니까 상황을 봐야 되지 않나? 그러면 도덕적인 거 하나 들어줄까? 내가 어른을 보면 인사를 안 해. 그럼 얘가 나쁜 애 같지. 근데 얘가 어른을 봤는데 인사를 안 한 이유를 뜯어보니까 어른들이 얘한테 맨날 욕을 했어. 그럼 얘가 나쁜 애일까? 도덕적으로 문제가 되는 애일까? 아니잖아. 얘가 어른이 욕한다고 해서 무조건 인사해야 될까? 그게 도덕이니까? 부모님을 봐가면서 해야 되지 않을까? 나에게 욕을 해도 인사하는 게 도덕적으로 인사는 해야 된다고? 그러면 생각해봐. 얘가 인사를 안 해. 봤어. 내 부모를 죽인 원수야. 근데도 난 도덕적으로 살아가니까 이 사람한테 인사를 해야 돼. 이게 맞아? 부모를 안 죽이더라도 부모님과 사이가 나빠. 부모님이랑 사이가 나빠. 사이가 나쁜 사람이어서 집안끼리 안 좋은데 내가 이 집안을 보고 인사를 해야 돼? 왜? 도덕적으로 인사해야 되니까? 도덕적으로는 인사해야 되니까? 그게 맞아? 도덕적인 사람이 아니라 그 사람을 보고 나쁘다라고 도덕적으로 너는 안 좋은 사람이야 라고 말할 수 있냐고. 그거는 봐봐, 도덕적인 사람이 되겠다, 나는 도덕적인 사람이 될 거니까 인사를 하겠다, 이거는 그 사람이 그렇게 생각하는 거고, 남들이 봤을 때 너 진짜 나쁜 아이구나. 왜? 네가 인사를 안 하니까. 아 근데 제가 인사를 안 하는 건 이런 이유가 있어요, 이렇게 말했을 때 그래도 넌 나쁜 사람이야, 인사를 안 해, 넌 도덕적인 사람이 아니야, 이렇게 말할 수 있냐고. 그러니까 상황에 따라 달라진다 이거지, 내 말은. 아니지. 그거는 아는 사람인데 쌩까내가 보통이라는 거는 그 상황밖에 모르니까 그렇게 되는 건데, 또 다른 상황을 보면 또 이렇게 바뀌니까 상황에 따라 또 달라지는 거지. 자기 합리화는 내가 그냥 이렇게 생각하는 게 자기 합리화지. 자기 합리화는 다르지. 이건 절대적인 기준이 없어, 도덕적인 건 내가 볼 땐. 하여튼 그렇습니다.
So is it up to each of us to decide what right and wrong mean to us individuals?
저는 2번입니다.
Or must we simply follow the laws and customs of whichever community we're in?
그렇기 때문에 법과 간섭에 따르는 거 아닐까요? 법이라는 게 최소한의 안전장치잖아. 왜 어른한테 인사 안 하냐고? 인사해도 인사 안 한다고 얘기하는데 그냥 안 하고 말지, 그럴 거면. 인사를 했는데도 인사 안 한다고 욕하고 다닌다는데 그럼 뭐 인사할 필요가 있어? 그러면 안 하고 욕 먹고 말지. 어차피 욕먹는 거 그냥 안 하고 욕먹지. 왜 해도 욕먹어. 그냥 안 하고 욕먹고 말지. 그래서 인사 안 해요, 저는. 어차피 하나만 하고. 어차피 그 양반들도 나 누군지 몰라. 그냥 인사받고 싶어서 날린 건데 뭘. 내 이름조차도 모르는 사람이 무슨 인사받고 싶어 해. 해도 욕을 하니까 안 한다니까? 해도 욕을 한다고! 해도 욕을 한다고! 해도 욕을 하니까 안 한다고! 왜 해, 왜? 내가 왜? 이씨 꼰대야 아주 씨. 뭐 씨 진짜 사람이 이렇다 하면 그냥 그런 거지. 뭘 자꾸 강요를 해. 꼰대야 씨. 진짜 늙어서 그렇게 늙을 거야 씨. 내가 왜 그 사람이 받아줄 때까지 인사를 해야 돼. 이미 욕하고 다니는데. 내가 왜? 내가 그 사람한테 인정받을 게 뭐가 있다고. 꼰대야? 아 진짜 꼰대야. 왜 그래 이씨. 그러지마. 그렇게 늙지마 이씨. 내가 아예 안 한 게 아니라 했는데 해고 내가 뭐 한 번만 하고 욕먹어서 이렇게 안 하겠니? 내가 몇 번을 했는데 몇 번 했는데도 계속 인사를 안 한다 욕한다 계속 하니까 안 하는 거지. 내가 뭐 한 번 하고 안 하겠어요 이씨. 내가 왜 그래야 되냐고. 내가 왜 그래야 되는데. 내가 왜 그렇게 해야 되는데. 이유가 뭔데.
잠깐 두천.
내가 왜 그렇게 해야 되는데. 아니 생각해봐. 내가 왜 그렇게 인사해야 되는데. 아니 그래서 욕먹는 게 왜. 내가 그래서 그냥 그렇다 그냥 이런 건데 왜. 나 욕먹고 다녀서 그냥 인사 안 해. 어차피 해도 욕먹으니까. 안 하고 욕먹는 거랑 뭐가 달라. 그냥 어차피 욕먹을 거면 안 하고 욕먹을 거임. 이럴 건데 왜. 내가 이 사람들이 나한테 욕해가지고 나 씨 열받아가지고 이 사람들 가만 안 두고 이런 것도 아닌데 왜. 욕먹는 것도 내가 욕먹는 거지 당신이 욕먹는 것도 아닌데 내가 이렇게 살겠다는데 왜. 아니 누가 인사를 열심히 해서 욕을 안 먹기에 누가 그렇게 열심히 인사를 해. 누가 나 인사 열심히 해가지고 욕 안 먹을 거야. 누가 이러고 다녀 씨. 누가 그러고 다녀 도대체 씨. 안녕하세요. 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 아니 그니까 아저씨는 그냥 그렇게 살면 되고 난 이렇게 살면 돼. 이렇게 살면 되는데 왜 나한테 강요를 해. 강요하는 거 나빠. 난 이렇게 살 거야. 아니 출근할 땐 다르지. 내가 출근한 직장 사람들한테 인사 안 하겠어요? 동네 사람들이 할머니 할아버지들이 인사를 해도 안 받아주고 안 받아줘. 그러면서 인사를 했는데도 안 한다 인사 안 한다 이렇게 씹을 싸면서 욕을 하니까 내가 아씨 어차피 인사해도 안 받아줄 거 그냥 안 하고 말지. 어차피 욕할 거 안 하지 이러면서 안 한다는데 왜. 거참 씨.
Ah, you know, I think you'd find an ally in Herodotus, a scribe from among my people who lived some 400 years ago. He told the story of a man named Darius, whose curiosity was piqued when he learned that a certain tribe had the practice of eating their dead. He asked some Greeks who burnt their dead, "What would it take for you to eat your dead?" Aghast, they replied, "Nothing." Then he asked the tribe who ate their dead, "What would it take for you to burn your dead?" "Nothing," they replied, equally aghast. From this, Herodotus concluded that custom is king, that right and wrong are merely local ideas which do not survive the journey from one tribe to another. I take it you're in agreement? Then let me ask you this. If you visited a tribe where they ate each other, copulated with the dead, and drank wine from cups made out of human skulls, would you still maintain that within such a tribe there is nothing wrong with such conduct?
문제 없지? 문제 없지? 진짜 남의 얘기잖아. 남의 일이잖아. 우리 부족에선 이렇게 살고 저런 부족에서 저렇게 사는데 저런 부족에서 저렇게 산다고 문제가 되는 건가? 아닌가? 보신탕 문화가 없어지는 건 애견인들이 많아져서 그런 거 아니에요? 근데 보신탕 문화가 없어지는 게 아니라 우리도 근데 봐봐. 내가 지금 이게 좀 거시기한 게 해외에서 우리나라 보신탕 먹는다고 막 뭐라 하면 우리도 되게 열받잖아. 막 야만이 막 이러면서 막 이렇게 막 이렇게 얘기하니까. 그니까 이런 거만 열받잖아. 근데 우리도 반대로 우리도 막 인도인가 뭐 어디 부족에서 뭐 할애인가 할례 같은 게 문제가 있다고 생각하잖아. 그러니까 뭔가 다 문제점 같은 게 다 보이잖아. 거기는 근데 거기가 그거잖아. 내가 인사 안 하고 다니는 건 문화가 아니라 그냥 내 개인의 성향이지. 뭔 소리야 또. 이걸 문화로 취급하면 안 되지. 문화가 뭔지 몰라? 내가 무슨 대중의 아이콘이니? 내가 뭐라고 내가 그 마을의 문화가 돼. 내가 뭐라고. 뭔 소리 하는 거야 도대체. 문제는 있으나 그거에 대해서 말할 말하는 게 좀 힘들지 않나 아니지 않나 막 이런 느낌인데 나는. 그러니까 문제는 있다고 보지만 내가 거기에 대해서 관여를 하는 게 좀 아니라고 좀. 마을 사람이 대머리인 게 왜 신경 쓰여? 그런 게 왜 신경 쓰여?
And that's a credit to you. It is the mark of a civilized person to change their position when presented with a superior argument.
요점이 뭐야?
My point is this. I don't think anyone alive truly knows any hard and fast rules about right and wrong.
살인하지 말라고? 살인하지 말라는 좀 아니지 않나?
If there is one thing I have observed about rules, it is that virtuous people do not need them, and evil people will always find a way around them. And so we must accept our limitations, and the sad truth that no human society will ever achieve the utopia for which it strives. In mathematics, we would call it an asymptote, a line that can be approached but never reached. Because the only way to create a utopia is with the ever-present threat of force, such as the Golden Rule. This and no other is the root from which a tyrant springs when he first appears as a protector.
철학은 답이
Life under
없어.
tyranny is no utopia
답이 없어.
at all.
끝없는 논쟁이야. 끝없는 논쟁이고 안 좋아해요. 계속 논쟁입니다. 답이 없으니까 네 말이 맞아. 아니야, 내 말이 맞아. 내 말이 맞는 이유는 이거는데? 내 말이 맞는 이유는 이거야. 이게 답이 없어요. 끝이 안 납니다. 안 좋아합니다. 인간은 어디로부터 오냐고? 엄마 뱃속이요. 아빠의 씨와 엄마의 씨. 그 엄마도 엄마의 엄마와 아빠의 씨로. 복장이 다스리는 삶은 결코 낙원이 될 수 없어. 근데 저 이번에 그 천원돌파 보는데 좀 그 생각이 들었어. 그 원래 거기 애들이 지하에 살다가 이제 땅 위로 올라왔잖아요. 인구수 유지를 위해서 지하에 살다가. 근데 그게 폭정이었잖아, 어떻게 보면. 그러다가 걔 누냐, 주인공. 시몬이 이제 다 지상으로 끌어올렸는데 그렇게 되니까 시민들이 오히려 난리가 나던데? 그러니까 어떻게 보면 폭정이 주는 거는 낙원까진 아니더라도 그 뭐지? 통제 안에 사람이 그냥 거기서 나는 이렇게 적응이 되니까 이렇게 사는 게 그냥 행복이다. 약간 이렇게 딱 그냥 사고방식이 거기서 딱 단절이 돼버리니까 뭔가 어떻게 보면 저도 나쁘긴 나쁜데 폭정이 아니더라도 근데 낙원이 될 순 없어.
I'm glad to hear that. In any case, thank you.
명판 좀 내놔봐. 명판 좀 줘봐.
You seek
명판
the
좀.
plaque
명판
buried
하나
in the
찾으러
king's
왔다가 지금
treasures. It is a cursed object, and I will tell you, but you may find him. Very few know this, but before the Romans came, when the Romans came, in typical fashion, they claimed it as their own, built over
아직
everything that could be. Thus, the
명판
shrine of
찾으면.
Persephone, and when they found an obelisk bearing the name Hades, they tore it off and replaced it with Pluto instead. And the city's dwindling Greek residents, witnessing this compulsive Roman conquest, decided to preserve what they could of their heritage. They gathered their art and valuables, secreted them away through the Temple of Demeter, and hid them here, out of reach of the Romans. However, there was one thing that always seemed an even older plot.
뭐라
We
적혀있죠?
had no idea until years later, when the first of my friends. As a result of their deaths, we extended the tunnel so far that we accidentally discovered
뭘
another,
숨겨놨다고?
an even
불에다가?
older tunnel. Suddenly it made sense why there was an out of. You see, we proud Greeks had thought, but it turns. I think it is best.
뭐가
There
있어?
are certain things. Take this key.
지하묘지를 가야 돼.
You
사연을
mean,
듣고
how did I end
싶습니다.
up living alone in this cave with nothing? I
말해.
was a quarrelsome young man.
19살에
19,
가장 뛰어난 학술원에서 수사학을 공부하기에 코린트에서 로마로 따라지. 덕분에 논쟁하는 힘을 길렀다네. 아이.
Back then I used to enjoy verbally sparring with everyone I could.
말싸움을 즐긴 양반.
One night I found myself in a tavern in an
도간.
argument with a drunk mercenary. It became heated. He
아가리 파이터.
and I won the argument, but lost my life. I woke up on the banks of the Styx at a campfire opposite Karen. Of course, I tried to persuade her to let me return, but even with all my skill, I failed. I settled in, made friends, and learned what I could, quickly realizing our little community faced certain death under the Golden Rule. So I began looking for a place to hide underground.
그러면 황금률이 발동했을 때 지하에 있는 사람은 안 죽나?
You see, I was not the first to take refuge here. I returned to my friends above, persuaded them to join me, and 12 of us descended for the last time to live out our days hidden from Hades' tyranny. My generation was wiped
황금으로
out,
변했어.
turned to gold.
아,
many years ago.
지하에 있으면
My
안
friends and I were able
변하네.
to avoid the same fate by. I think it's safest to assume that if I was to return, they are one and the same.
하데스.
I fear that if you were to utter my name in the city, I'm afraid I am the
혼자
only one
남았고.
left. Some from malnutrition. It has been lonely. Living in darkness is not without its challenge. And sometimes, when there are Greek people,
아, 얘가 곡물 먹었고,
surface at
그조잉?
night and salvaged. The greater challenge is the ice. Like so many, as you.
나가는 법은 알아?
Ha!
하긴 그것도 그렇지.
Did we not discuss?
갑시다. 네. 나 어떻게 하지? 아, 저기 있다. 여기다. 저장. 아. 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 오. 와. 잘 팠네. 수로네. 뭐하라 했지? 카바시 찾으라고? 이쪽인가봐. 아닌가? 깜짝아! 죽인다. 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 오른쪽이야. 있다. 움직인다. 새끼 움직인다. 움직인다. 죽인다. 죽인다 했다. 죽인다. 안 돼. 원래 안 되나? 아씨, 내 화살. 화살 얼마 없는데, 씨. 이게 명판이다. 이거 왜 안 가져가죠? 나 이거 쏘면 강물 바뀌는 줄 알았는데 아니었다. 하나의 죄로 인해 여럿이 고통받으리라. 황금률이죠? 보드게임. 하! 이거다. 없나?
Stop. Do not come any closer. Who are you?
I'm Deku.
I am Kabash. And let me guess. Another Greek or Roman come to loot and plunder the resting place of my ancestors.
명판 찾고 있어요.
To what end?
오벨리스크에 돌려놓으려고요.
That I was planning to return it myself, but for now,
그럼 빨리
I
줘.
must remain. Here, take it and restore the honor of Osiris.
빨리 줘. 굿. 고맙습니다.
Now, as for the other,
네. 어디 있어요?
indeed, I stumbled
뭐야?
across a collection of dusty curiosities while searching for a place to hide from the hungry children of Amit And there it was.
가져가도 돼요?
You may not.
왜?
In fact, I am about
왜?
to...
왜?
Because it speaks a treacherous, blasphemous lie.
어떤
I
면에서요?
will tell you. But first, do you know
여기가
what this
어딘지
place?
아냐고? 두아트인가요?
Indeed. And I
두아트가
see
뭐지?
you know our history. This is... See what has become of it. I have been down here for weeks, piecing together its story. And here is what I have learned. As
이집트의
Egypt
저승이
declined
두아트야?
and the Greeks had their turn to flourish, their souls came here in great numbers. But instead of adopting our ways, they copied and corrupted them. When they found the obelisk bearing the name Osiris, the true god of the underworld,
유희왕에서 봤다고?
they
이?
desecrated it, removing his name and replacing it with Hades. Even the ferryman of the dead, known to my people long before as Ket,
아...
they renamed to Keron. As if that desecration was not enough, they built over this place, using it as the foundation for their own underworld, so that ours was forgotten. My only solace is that the Greeks then suffered the same fate when the Romans rose to power, renaming Hades to Pluto, and the cycle began anew.
명판이 뭔데?
It is inscribed with a script I do not recognize, but it is ancient, almost as if it is older than the plaque bearing Osiris's name. But if that is so, it would imply the gods of Egypt are mere imitations too, copied and corrupted from an ancient people who prospered even before us, and that my people did to them what the Greeks and Romans did to us. But this I cannot accept.
오늘 첫 도박
I
승리
sense a
기념 장반.
deception. Perhaps it is the
감사합니다.
work of Set, the usurper, seeking to undermine Osiris
잠반
once
좀
more.
많이 남겨주세요.
You will never know. This work of sacrilege must be destroyed, thrown into the black abyss below in Osiris's name.
나 필요한데? 제발.
You are too late. It is done. It could not have gone any other.
Ah,
Now, the
shit.
thing of evil you sought is.
사연을
I
들어?
am from since when the fires broke out last year. On my,
필요 없어. 뭐 있어?
I do not know what could possibly lie beneath the underworld, but all I
아니
know
필요하다는데 씨 나쁜 새끼.
is Mo. Good. Wait. You would plunge into the depths of.
나쁜 새끼. 아이씨. 아이씨. 굳이 씨. 아! 어디 있어? 찾았는데. 이건 해결을 봤는데 이건 됐는데 어떻게 올라가냐? 올라가는 게 문제인데 이쪽으로 가는 건가? 이쪽? 이쪽인가? 뭔 소리야? 와! 와! 안 지나가죠? 여기 안 들어가죠? 안 들어가지는데? 벽이 있는데? 봐봐. 아닌가? 안 가지는데? 봐봐봐, 벽 있잖아, 벽 있잖아. 아이씨. 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 아이. 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 알판이다. 한번 해봐. 한번 해볼 거야. 아이. 어? 나 삥동가 아니야? 왜 한 바퀴 돈가 아니에요 지금? 아닌가? 아닌가? 아, 아닌갑다. 됐다.
When I told you that you would not find a way back up,
이
that
새끼는 또 왜
was
저래?
not a prediction. That was a promise. You will die here. I disagree. I warned you against coming down here, against
왜 그래?
perpetuating this sacrilege. But you persisted.
지하에
You
사는
have
주제.
undermined and dishonored the true God of the
지하에
Underworld.
사는 주제.
How
씨,
did you
건방지게
think
또
this would
깝치네.
end, if not with bloodshed? Very well, I will.
내 말 좀 들어.
But if I sense deception, or if you further insult my gods, I will carry out. Why should
대답해라.
I let you?
날 살려야 되는 이유? 난 그냥 명판 복구밖에 없는데. 근데 이거 한다고 얘가 넘어가 줄까?
Why? To what end?
접견하려고. 나 하데스 만나야
But
돼.
why? What business could you have with Osiris?
거짓말하면 걸릴까? 걸릴까?
Blasphemous fool!
아이!
You have sealed.
와, 아니잖아! 죽여.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
빵꾸 똥꾸더라. 빵꾸 똥꾸더라 진짜. 똥빵꾸더라.
When I that you why? But doubtful. What do you know about honoring?
얘기 좀 하려고.
Imbecile! You ha, good. I can.
아이씨 뭐야 도대체. 아이 뭐야.
When I told you that you would not, that you do not be. I disagree. I want you have very what?
아 이렇게 들어가네.
Then you admit it. Many we and yet did our. I am not sure I follow. Now you insult me and all. You have sealed your own fate. You will. You. What? We and did. Perhaps there is some truth in that. What is your point? You are persuasive. Very well.
아 뭐야 그냥 첫 번째로 갈 걸. 무지성 1번만 다 찍을 걸.
I will
아이.
remain here for a while and attempt to learn what I can about the Foundation.
괜히 머리 써보겠다고 씨 까불쳤어. 뭐야. 아이 카메라 못 끄나? 카메라 끄는 거 없나? 흔들림? 나 눈 아파. 흔들림 끄는 게 없나? 있을 것 같은데. 빨리 깨자. 그냥 빨리 지나가자. 지나갔다. 됐어. 이거 어디야? 어디더라? 길이 있다. 내가 가는 이 길이 어디로 가는지, 어디로 날 내려가는지, 그곳은 어딘지 알 수 없지만 길이 어디지?
You carry the gift of
영감,
Prometheus in your
안녕.
hand. Remarkable.
이제 해야 될 게 저 새끼들 문제인데. 아, 저 새끼들 저거 어떡하지? 이렇게 멀리 내려왔었나? 가져요? 야? 됐다. 됐고 명판 얘가 꺼내달라 했는데.
Hello? Do you love? Like. Yeah. Bye bye.
답이 없어. 얘만 하면 되는데. 얘가 제일 골치 아파. 일단 해보자.
Arvid. Certainly. May fortune.
아니
Arvid.
선거.
It'll be why.
지금 시작.
Very.
해보자 일단.
It is
일단
time.
돌려보자.
Let us meet to elect our magistrate.
이것만 하면 되지 않을까? 명파 먹고 그거 끼우고 신 만나서 쇼부다 타고 하면 엔딩 끝 아닌가? 뇌물도 매겼겠다. 왜 시작 안 해?
Citizens,
아 된다.
we have a quorate body of voters gathered here to elect the city's magistrate. The candidates are Sextus Sentius Imperiosus and late nominee Gallus Galerius Helva. Marcus Malleolus Gurges withdrew his candidacy earlier today. As agreed, we shall dispense with ballots and candidates will
공개
abstain
투표는
from voting.
너무
Let's make
거시기해.
this quick. As I say your name, call your vote. I'll start with you, Horatius.
Sentius, of course.
Georgius.
Galerius. He saved the life of my dear friend Fabia.
Dacius.
Galerius.
Virgil.
투표.
Sentius.
동률.
Ulfius.
Galerius, the man
3대2.
Rufius.
4대2 됐어요. 바뀌었어.
Citizens, you have made your decision. Your new magistrate is Gallus Galerius Helva.
What?
It has been decided. Magistrate Galerius,
바뀌었어.
would you like
어.
to make a brief address?
아, 이벤트 안 열려.
I just want to say, this isn't something I ever wanted. Now that you've put your trust in me, I'm going to do everything I can not to let you down. I'll need some time to put together a list of the changes I want to make around here. But I promise you, there will be changes. My first order is that Dooley is to be freed. Horatius, release him from his cell immediately. Please. Wait, do I need to say please? I suppose not. That's it. You can all get on with your day. Nothing else to see
얘가
here.
문제야, 얘가.
Move along.
어디가?
It's almost as if you're trying to extend my lifespan. It's all.
빡쳤나? 우습다. 뭘 다 조져, 이. 열어.
Fortune smiles on you today, Julius. Magistrate Galerius here has ordered your release.
You're going to let me out of here?
I'm sorry it took so long, my friend. And it wouldn't have happened at all if it wasn't for a newcomer. So be sure to offer your thanks when you can.
I will. I will. Thank you, Galerius. I'm so happy.
I'd love to stay and chat, but I've got a lot of work ahead of me. Why don't you go to the baths? Then tell Georgius I said you could have some new clothes. Then I want you to go home and rest. I'll speak with you soon, Dooley.
Hello?
맞아.
Oh, thank you.
천만에.
You can have my shop, and maybe you can. My friend Hannibal used to look up, but before that,
그게 뭐야?
he gave me a key to the cisterns and told me to keep it safe. Please help me.
좋아요.
Oh, thank.
일단 열쇠 줘. 대신전 아래. 대신전 아래?
Hope you find it.
명판 좀 줄래?
Maybe it is treasure.
꽂아봐.
I could see it for myself.
됐다. 다 모았다. 됐다. 됐어.
And it's just lying
가자!
in the open. Maybe nobody wants it.
저장. 간다. 저 꼭대기로.
It's so lovely to see Dooley out and about again.
헤헤. 꽃있다. 꽃으로. 히히.
Harvey.
꽂아. 길이 이쪽 맞아. 이쪽으로 가서 꺾어서 꺾고 올라가야 되는데? 아, 이렇게 해서 올라갔나? 올라간 다음에 여기다가 꽂으라는 거잖아. 차. 뭐야?
The many shall suffer
왜?
for the sins of the
왜? 왜? 왜 죽어? 꽂으라며! 하데스. 뭐지? 꽂았는데 죽었는데? 뭐야?
The
왜
many
또
shall
죽어?
suffer for the sins of the one.
여기 꽂으면 안 돼? 뭐야? 하나 못 들어나? 야! 야! 죽어! 야! 야! 아씨. 왜? 뭐가 문제야? 그럼 이거야? 나 느낌 왔어. 아니? 요거.
The many shall suffer.
둘리한테 가야 된다고? 둘리 만나고 왔는데 왜? 가짜야? 이거 명판이 가짜야? 가짜 준 거야? 저 새끼가?
The
왜?
many
왜
shall
아무것도
suffer
안 했는데 왜?
for the sins of the one.
아무것도 안 했는데 왜요? 둘리가 사고 치고 다녀요? 지금? 아, 이거 타야 되는데.
The many shall suffer for the sins
둘리가
of
어디
the one.
있는지 모르는데? 얘 어디 있는데?
Georgius, where are you?
잠깐만. 안 비키네. 안 비키네. 아이씨. 지키고 있네. 아이씨. 돈 먹을라 했네. 둘리가 사고를 친다 이거지? 둘리 위치를 어떻게 알아?
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Do it. Kill me.
이건가? 어디지 여기? 둘리가
So
어디지?
lovely to see Dooley out and about again.
어디 있지 얘? 얘 어디 있지? 여기 없는데? 여기 있어? 훔치니 너? 얘가 훔치나 본데? 그럼 내가 다른 걸 못하잖아. 이거 그럼 얘가 지금 어떻게 해야 돼? 대화도 안 돼. 어떻게 해결해야 돼 이걸?
Don't you dare.
The many shall suffer for the sins of
안녕하세요. 돌겠네 얘 때문에.
and it's just lying out here in the
이렇게 시작하면 안 되나 봐. 안 날라갔을
Then
걸요?
I want you to go home and rest. I'll speak with you soon, Dooley.
You can you can
일단 받고
maybe it is.
얘기 좀 해.
I can see it for myself.
얘 말이 안 돼 근데.
And it's just
말이 안 되는데 그럼 얘는 어떻게 해야 돼요?
maybe nobody wants it anymore. Maybe no one will mind if I just take it.
말하기 전에 이걸 다 치워야 돼?
Then I want you to go home and rest. I'll speak with you soon, Dooley.
Hello?
자동으로 말 걸어지는데? 자동인데? 나 나가는데 말 거는데요?
Thank you. You can mop up. You can... Oh, thank. Hope you find. Maybe it is treasure. I can see it from this.
이거 어떻게 처리해야 돼?
What's in it? Take it.
돌 때리네. 이거 주인 어디 갔어? 얘는 어디 갔어? 데시우스 어디 갔지?
The many shall suffer.
아씨 어떻게 하라고? 이러고 하늘차 돌릴까? 하늘차 이러고 돌릴까? 어차피 답이 없잖아. 내가 쟤한테 말을 안 걸어도 지가 말을 거는데.
For the sins of the one.
개노답이야. 짜증. 죽일 수밖에 없어. 새로운 거 생겼다. 새로운 거 생겼다. 사람 모으기 생겼다. 오, 이제 다 살리나봐. 왜? 왜 안 돼? 그렇게 하는 거 아니에요? 일단 저장. 아닌가?
That's quite an impressive bow you have there.
돌리지 뭐. 안 되면 또 돌리지 뭐. 에휴. 아, 왜 이렇게 멀어? 빰빰빠바바빠빰.
Salve, well... That's good. All right, well...
I can't believe this is how it ends.
Oh no.
아,
No.
저 새끼
No, no, no,
저거.
no, no. Orpheus, what are you doing? Get back from there.
That's...
What?
Why do you...
I know. Please,
I'm sorry.
please, help.
You... Well... If...
돈 줄게.
No, I am out. Wherever you are. Scintilla, my love. I'm sorry.
Orpheus, no! I can't believe... I'll have to...
죽을 놈은 죽어. 어쩔 수 없어. 열렸다. 아들. 아니야? 아니야? 아닌 말 죽인다. 아니야? 뭐지? 뭐지? 아니야? 아니야? 아니야. 아니야. 눈빵! 우와, 뭐요? 와, 뭐요? 뭐요? 지금이야, 와카페! 와카페 지금이야!
And here you are. Allow me to introduce myself. As you have already gathered, I've been known by many names. Nergal to the Sumerians, Osiris to the Egyptians, Hades to the Greeks, and Pluto to the Romans. But the one constant through it all has been my title, God of the Underworld. And I've been watching you with curiosity, mortal, ever since your arrival. You're unlike the others, aren't you? And what is more, You carry a weapon that was
왜?
never intended for mortals
왜?
to wield, and you do it so brazenly. But there will be time for your reckoning later. First, as a reward for undoing the desecration of my obelisk, I will allow you to satisfy your curiosity. Ask what you will.
사연을 들어.
My story is many thousands of years long. You will need to...
뭐가 궁금하냐고?
It is a matter of perspective. God is a label I was given by you mortals, not one I gave myself. Your ancestors revered me because to them, my knowledge and technology made me incomprehensibly powerful. Just as you... despite all that, my kin and I all adopted this form long ago, so that we might better understand and communicate with your kind. In time, we grew fond of the sensory delights it affords: desire, joy,
그냥-
ecstasy, even rage and sorrow.
그냥
but
제작자가
acquired taste.
인간 형태 모델 구하기 힘들어서 거시기 한 거 아니야?
No. Long ago, I swore to yourself
봐봐.
in this form for as long as
봐봐.
we remained
이거
among
합리적 의심 아니야?
I must honor that. This is my beloved. Like me, she has been known by many names. Ereshkigal to the Sumerians, Isis to the Egyptians, Persephone to the Greeks, and Proserpina to the Romans. Or perhaps you might know her as the goddess of springtime, the cycle of life and renewal. Your gaze lingers too long.
오른쪽은?
That is my servant. You would have met by the river, though she wears many faces and goes by many names. Kumutubal to the Sumerians, Kirti to the Egyptians, Charon to the Greeks, and Charon to the Romans. Her role is to ferry souls between the mortal world and this one, and to make their transition as seamless as possible. For that, she earned herself the infamous, if erroneous, moniker, the Ferryman. You will talk more later. For now, as you wish. It has come to be known simply as the Underworld, and it exists because of a wager I made long ago. That is a long story. You see, long ago my kin and I set out from our home on Elysium to search for other forms of life among the stars. We discovered your planet and witnessed your kind evolving from primates into something lawless and barbaric. You all but destroyed yourselves, your 2 short lives being extinguished by violence and ignorance and disease. Yet
아
Persephone
얘도
saw all
말봤네.
potential
아이.
and persuaded the rest of us it would be squandered without our intervention and stewardship. So we revealed ourselves to your people in a place called Sumer. We offered guidance in agriculture,
말이 너무 많아.
and you called us gods. For a time,
해줄
you
요약
flourished,
좀요.
but soon you were too many for us to oversee. And as you spread from that cradle of civilization, we saw something disturbing. We had sown the seeds of dependency and confusion, and soon you returned to your old ways of violence and ignorance, this time in our name. My kin had seen enough, and gave up on your kind, condemning you as barbaric and chaotic, scarcely more than animals. We began preparations to return to Elysium, our home world, a utopia unspoilt by conflict and unimaginable in its beauty. But my Proserpina could not bear to abandon your kind without guidance, and knowing it would force the rest of us to
하데스,
leave her behind.
플루토, 신입니다.
She made an extraordinary sacrifice.
황금률을 만드네.
She gave up her immortality to descend permanently to the ranks of humankind. And so she began her inescapable trajectory toward death. Horrified, I acted swiftly. I placed her in suspended
아,
animation
쟤가 지금 가사
in a deep
상태구나.
frozen sleep to prevent age and sickness from claiming her. And then I pleaded with Proserpina's father, who the Romans called Jupiter, to bring
이
her with
세계의
us to
신이 될
Elysium.
곳이다.
It was and is my hope that once there, we might one day learn to undo what she has done to herself. But he refused. I did everything I could to persuade him, but he would not relent. He would rigidly uphold his final pronouncement. Humans were unworthy of ascension to Elysium, and no exceptions would be made. But seeing that I was aggrieved, he proposed a wager, the terms of which were as follows. If even one human city could prove itself capable of living without sin for a
이래서
single
황금률이
year, then
생겼구나.
Proserpina and all of humanity
죄를
would be
못 짓게
permitted to join
하려고.
us in Elysium. My part would be to remain behind, the last of my kind, to watch over you, without interfering, and to sit in silent judgment. And so my reward has been to languish here, enduring a 3,000-year winter, waiting for the day your kind proves itself worthy of her faith in you, so that I might take her with me to Elysium and unthaw my goddess of springtime. And here I am, after all this time, still waiting. There were also gods who, like me, have been our leader Jupiter, as well as Neptune, and of course, as the first wave of your kind arrived from Sumer, I had them build a city in their own fashion, so that they might be comfortable. I had them build the entrance as a vertical shaft leading to baths, to cleanse them of the sins of their former lives, and to prevent escape. I watched wave after wave of Sumerians arrive, and as their civilization declined over the centuries, they were replaced by Egyptians. Of course, believing themselves to be the superior civilization, the Egyptians promptly built over what had been built before, and made all the same mistakes. After another 1,000 years, the Greeks began to arrive, and then the Romans, and they all did the same thing. They built upon the underworlds of their predecessors, renamed their gods, and ensured their foundations were forgotten. It is a regrettable story. One of the first men who came to this place was the king of Sumer, a troublemaker. To be rid of him, I returned him to his
인간의
people
욕심은
on the
끝이
condition that
없고
my
같은
servant
실수를
erased his memories
반복한다.
of this place. But the erasure did not take completely, and he told stories
도박을
of
하면서
this
얻은
place as if
철학입니까?
describing memories of a dream. His tales were committed to writing, which came to be known as the Epic of Gilgamesh. His words
깨달음입니까?
twisted and
도박하면서?
distorted over generations.
그런
Later,
겁니까?
the Egyptians would adapt Sumer's stories of the underworld, making them wildly intricate and labyrinthine. Their Book of the Dead and Book of Gates bore less and less resemblance to this place in their priests' pursuit of profit. Then, when the Greeks began to arrive, they proved far more cunning, and in a series of incidents that will not be repeated, 5 of them escaped. A warrior named Heracles, 2 kings named Sisyphus
아,
and
키케
Theseus,
왔어요.
a poet named Orpheus, and a Trojan named Aeneas. They each told embellished tales of this place, how to get here, and how to escape. And so from Sumer to Egypt, Greece to Rome, your kind has always told each other stories about this place. Each story contained only
위가
a secret.
아프다고? 왜?
To ensure the wager was fair, it was important that my
치과치료
subjects
했어?
were chosen at random. To this end, I had my servant distribute 1,000 tokens
1000개
fashioned
은하를
from silver,
뿌리도록
a rare
했고
element at the time. across
은이
all
귀했구나.
Whoever
금보다 은이
died
귀한
while in
시절인가
possession
보네.
of one of them would be located by my servant and ferried to
아,
this place with no memory of how they
그러면
arrived. As the
1000명만
tokens were
선택받은
discovered,
자네?
they were traded, smelted, and fashioned into trinkets, and eventually coins, spreading to Egypt like seeds on the wind. Later, when they spread to Greece, they would come to be known
아하.
as Charon's obol, or as coins for
그래서
the
동전을
pharaoh.
확인했구나.
Some placed coins in the mouths of their dead, hoping they would awaken here, though they had no way of knowing which coins were fashioned from the original tokens. In fact, almost all of the tokens are accounted for.
2개만 남았다고?
And so after this wave destroys itself, as it is destined to do, your kind will have squandered the last
카론의 오보를 가지면
beyond this rock,
키캡을 받을 수 있어.
and Persepolis along with it. Of course, that is merely the name your people.
왜 황금으로 바꿉니까?
That is a story dating back to the very first wave. After the Sumerians finished building their city, the self-declared ruler threw a banquet to celebrate. Now this man was unmarried, and many women were
와,
vying to become his
수많은
wife.
여인들이 왕의 아내가 되고자 경쟁을 했대.
All
와,
the women too were particularly ambitious.
님들도 왕이었으면
And both arrived at the banquet
아닐
wearing
거야.
eye-catching dresses and
콧물 난다.
their hair woven in elaborate fashion. The first woman, recognizing that she would require an advantage to win the ruler's affection,
일부
draped herself in
다처제가
jewels,
좋은 게 아니야.
ornate necklaces,
일부
bracelets,
다처제는
and rings
좋지 않아.
fashioned from gold. Seeing this ostentatious display, the second woman grew envious, for she had no such
잘
jewelry at
생각해봐.
her
일부 다처제가 좋을까?
She prayed aloud to any gods that would listen to cover her in gold. And when her prayer went unanswered,
복상사하지
she
않을까?
took matters into her own hands. While the others indulged at the banquet, the second woman summoned the first
복상사에서
for
죽을 것
discussion in
같은데.
a quiet place. She checked that nobody was watching and pushed her rival from the top of the ziggurat, where she broke her neck
1초
on the
다부제?
rocks below. But I was watching, and I
1초
decided
다부제도
to
별론
answer her
같은데?
prayer. I took the golden bow left behind by Diana, and I shot that woman in the heart, covering her from head to toe in a layer of molten gold. And I left her to stand there.
남자는 커서도 애래.
Reminder of what befalls those who sin.
남자는 커서도 애라
That was
그랬어.
not enough.
그런 애 같은 게 여러 명이라고?
Tainted by her sin, and the wager could no longer
안
be
돼.
won. So I had no choice but to wipe the slate clean.
하나로 만족하자.
I gilded them all to make way for
그럼 내가 하나로 만족하자 이러면 그 하나도 없는데요?
to
이러겠지?
this day. Each of them,
어쩌라고요?
and all who came after
내보고
line
어쩌라고요?
the halls of the
알아서
city,
하세요.
inanimate but conscious, suspended in time with only their sight and hearing preserved, so they may bear witness to and lament the folly of your kind for eternity, silent golden sentinels.
맨 처음에 왔던 애들이 죄를 지어서 황금으로 바꿔버렸구나. 그래, 기준이
I've
뭐냐?
always considered that the cornerstone of morality is the ability to determine right from wrong on one's own. No attempt to lay out rules like your Code of Hammurabi or your 12 Tables of the Roman Republic can ever cover all possible scenarios. This should come as no surprise to you, since the core principle has been the Egyptians made a
남에게 대접받고자 하는 자는 남을 대접하라.
The Greeks refined it with
남이 저지르면 비난할 행동은 자신도 하지 말라.
The Roman Stoics added,
윗사람에게
treat
대접받고
your
싶은
inferior
대로 아랫사람을
as
대하라.
superior to treat you. Even the so-called cultists hiding
남에게
among you
존중받고
often say,
싶다면 그만큼
"Do
남을
unto
존중하라.
others as you would have them do unto you." It is the simplest of concepts, and each one of you is born with the faculties required to apply it to any situation. Yet none of the peoples who expressed this rule were able to uphold it. Curious, is it not? For you.
채. 안 되면 나처럼 포기하면서 살지.
I'm able to commune with. If she was still conscious, I suppose she could, but she's not.
그냥 물어봐.
Then what an odd question.
I give your kind a second chance,
신이라서 못 죽여.
as well as ample warning about. And when you and so you destroy your. When my kin departed, they left behind many. The golden bow originally belonged to one. As my collection of golden statues grew, I chose the most ferocious and tasked them with hunting down the Forsaken. Do you plan to speak in sweeping generalizations, or are you going to?
근데 이게 다 얘 말대로 하면 얘는 도덕에 옳고 그름이 있다는데 이게 왜 근데 이게 다 문제가 되지 않나? 자살은
Yes. Taking one's own life is a self-directed.
자살은 스스로 결정한 거라서 해를 끼치는 게 아니니까
Therefore, it cannot be said that one who commits
남들에게
suicide
뭘 한
has
것은
done
아니라고 볼 수
anything.
있다고. 와 근데 되게 뭐라 해야지? 그러면 사기치는 거는? 일단 알겠다 해.
Now tell me, a
사기는 뭐?
merchant, how is that inconsistent with the rule I've outlined? I disagree. Having watched this merchant, that is precisely what he would expect from others, and he would be quite capable of paying the price anyway.
예측이잖아.
Applying this rule always requires speculation to some degree. It requires us to ask what another person would want if they found themselves in another situation.
객관성이 떨어지지.
Not if we're wise enough to know the mind of man.
심리를 안다고?
Supposing you're right, and my laws being broken,
까불지
I
말아야겠다.
should turn you all to gold immediately.
닥치고 가만히 알겠다 해야 되나 봐. 협박을 하는데? 협박을 하는데 이거 씨.
Now tell me.
그래 속임수는.
Ah, the tavern keeper, yes. How is that in? I disagree. Having watched that tavern keeper, that is precisely
그걸 원하고
what you expect from
있었다고.
others. She would view it as a game. Now tell me.
부채 노예.
You speak of the moneylender, and he would never have signed a contract pledging his labor for 30 years. All he did was enforce
자발적으로
the terms of
서명한
the
계약을
contract
집행한
signed
거라고. 와, 이게 다 그냥 자발적으로 보는구나.
The midwife and the palace, yes. The rule is do unto others, meaning other people. Those statues are something else now. Bloodless
조각상은
shadows,
사람이
mere shapes
아니다.
of their former selves. They are forsaken. What happens to them
버림받은
is no
존재들.
concern of mine. Applying this rule always requires us to interpret the meaning of the words. A literal interpretation.
우리 언어가 애매한 것들의 집합체라면 규칙의 객관성이나 신뢰성이 떨어지지 않나요?
Supposing you are right, then my laws being
아이씨
broken,
꼴받네.
I
그냥
should turn you all to gold immediately. Is that what you want?
그냥 내가 옳은디? 이럴 수도 없고 참.
Now tell me,
납치는
abduction.
그래
You mean the
납치는
magistrate imprisoning his. He did so because she sought to escape.
딸이 탈출을
Sin,
깨했기
I
때문에
take it
심각하게 여기는 제목임.
serious. Better that he stops her from
딸을
escape.
벌하기에 도시 전체를 휩쓰는 것보단 탈출을 막는
And I
편이
have to
나을
wipe
것이다.
out this
와.
entire city to punish her. Now tell me.
사람들이 신들을 잔인하다 하는 것도 당연하죠. 그래봤자 당신의 도덕률이 얼마나 불안정하고 주관적인지 보여줄 뿐입니다. 옳고 그름을 판단하는 능력이 인간보다 나을 게 없어요.
Do you honestly think you could do better?
그건 아니지만 다들 믿고 따를 정도로 옳고 그름을 완벽하게 이해하는 존재는 없다고 생각합니다. 당신은 폭군이 되고 말았어요. 라고 말하면 또 죽이나?
I should strike you down for that.
나를 죽이네? 신이랑 한판 붙어봐? 그래도 내가 가도부어에서 신이었는데 한판 붙어봐 이씨. 한판 다 물어봤어.
Only, it seems, it has long been within my power to... When I peer into you, I see only a blank slate, as if you did not exist until you appeared in this city. Charon, where did you find this one?
I do not remember ferrying you. How did you
태운
come
적이
here?
없다고? 까먹은 거 아니야? 까먹은 거 아니야?
You would have us believe that my servant merely forgot.
미래에서
That is true. Then I sense the intervention of someone.
How did you come to be in this time, mortal? Who brought you here?
We cannot know.
혼자 힘으로 왔습니다.
Impossible. No,
그럴듯한 설명은 없습니까?
not yet. Enough of this. It seems... Why have you come...
여기에 온 이유? 황금률을 끝내고 싶다. 너를 죽이러 왔다. 여기서부터 저장됐으면 좋겠다. 한번 죽여보고 씨. 저장이 안 돼서 씨. 어떻게 할까? 근데 황금률을 깨겠다는 게 얘한테 반역한다는 소리밖에 안 되지 않아요? 그것도 아닌가?
If you anger me, always... So, tell me.
내가 왜 이 황금률을 끝내야 하냐고? 이길 가능성이 없어지.
How so? And be specific.
근거. 이거 아니야?
His cruelty does seem to grow greater by the day. I admit, he is a... True. If you're right, my involvement has corrupted the very thing I sought to observe impartially. But if I were to accept that, are you telling me these humans could coexist peacefully, without theft or violence, without my law? How so?
저희는 나쁜 행동을 물리치기에 폭력을 행사합니다. 범죄자들을 제압하고 독재자들을 몰아내기 위해서요.
And how is that working for you?
제가 사는 2000년 뒤의 미래도 별탈 없이 돌아가는 중입니다. 대체로 기대 수명은 올라가고 범죄율은 줄어드는 중이죠.
So you say, and yet your world is still imperfect.
우리 세계는 앞으로도 불완전할 겁니다. 하지만 낙원을 만든다고 동원하는 힘은 필연적으로 폭정을 부르죠.
You have spoken eloquently, and yet, if what you say is true, it follows that my wager was fatally flawed from the beginning. But that would mean Jupiter, Proserpina's father, who knew more about you than anyone, proposed a wager I could never win. Why would he do that?
이거 아닐까? 프로세르피나를 해방시키려고? 그치?
Perhaps. But if that was so, surely I would have sensed his deception. How could I have been so blind? Your words sting me, mortal. deserve. As difficult as this is to admit, I have suspected as much for a long time now. And I cannot deny it. I've been so fixated on taking my beloved to Elysium that every time one of you sinned, it wore away my hope of being with her again.
손해보다.
In time, I began to despise your kind for making her believe that you could ever be better than you are. But my rage was not born of malice. Quite the opposite. Everything I have done, I did because I loved her. Who knew this empathy of yours, which you celebrate so much, could have such a dark underside? This has gone on too long. It is time for me to let go of this form, of her, of all of you. But know this, if I abandon the wage and leave for Elysium, neither she nor your kind may ever ascend.
원래 세상에 돌아가면 되잖아. 뭘 엘리시움까지 가.
I will have Charon make arrangements.
왜요?
Once this exodus begins, the events that brought you to this moment will never have taken place, and you will have created a paradox. What will become of you is difficult to predict, but that is the risk you have taken by interfering in the natural flow of time. Now, farewell.
황금률 폐지됐다. 거꾸로 가. 엘리다.
Oh. Hi there. Gave me a bit of a fright. Thought I was in here alone. Well, here. Oh, did that lady in the forest send you in here after me? I'm fairly certain you and I. Fortunately for us, apparently there was a community of 20-something people trapped in here and living in fear of a
소멸
curse they
남짓의
call the Golden
공동체가
Rule.
진짜
They
황금죄는
believe that if even
저질렀다.
one person sinned, an
이거를
unknown then,
받고
one day, just as Galerius had
갈레리우스가
finished praying for a good
프로세르피나
harvest at
성소의
the shrine
수확을
of
기원하는
Proserpine,
기도를 마쳤을
an oracle
때쯤
appeared
한
and told
예언자가
him how to
나타나
solve
도시의
the
불행을
ills of the
해소할
city,
방법을 알려줬죠.
and so on.
많은 일이 있었어요. 한편의
the
예언자가
oracle walked
정체모를
up to the
신의
temple of
신전
the
바로
mysterious
여기로
god,
와
this one
아련을
right here,
요구하자
and demanded an audience. And the doors just
신에게 가는 문이
opened up
열렸습니다.
to him.
미래가 바뀌었어요.
Nobody knows what went on in
거기서
there,
무슨
but
일이 있었는지
Galerius
아무도
wrote the oracle
모르지만
must have been more persuasive
갈레리우스는
than
예언자의
Odysseus,
말솜씨가
because the next
오디세우스보다
thing he knew, the ground shook,
뛰어났다고
and the voice
말했죠.
of that god rang out over the city. The many have suffered
모두가
long enough.
충분히
Unfortunately,
고통받았도다.
Galerius' account just sort of stops after
갈레리우스의
that.
기억이 여기서 끝난
Leaving a lot of
탓에 많은
questions
의문이
unanswered.
그대로 남게 되었습니다.
What became of him and the other people who lived here? What happened to all the golden statues? And did this mysterious oracle single-handedly undo the curse that had terrorized people for hundreds of years?
나야.
What? Oh, I see. Anyway, I think I found a way out to the aqueduct that brought
안
water
믿네.
into the city. Follow me.
이걸 안 믿네.
I'm gonna pause here for a moment and make... You go...
뺨.
You're back. But you're alone. Does that mean you didn't find Al? Ah, why?
Ah, I see.
Woo!
I thought you might. Well, now you know. I suppose you have questions. You can just call me Charon, if you like. I am sorry I was not completely honest with you when we first met. I do not enjoy deceiving people. Believe me, I do not. But I have learned, from 5,000 years of experience, that most people find comfort in familiarity, in gradual change, and coming to see the truth in their own time. That you died, of course. You were dead when I
난
brought you
죽은 자야.
here. My role, as the servant of the god of the underworld, has always been to assist the
제작중으로
chosen
바뀌었어요?
to cross the threshold from the land of the living to the land of the dead.
난 어떻게 죽었어요?
Usually, when people do not remember how they died, it is because they suffered a terrible trauma. Most souls would rather not. Ask yourself honestly.
알고 싶어.
As you wish.
살해당했대.
You were exploring an old tomb.
오래된 무덤을 탐사하던 중 고대 은하 두 입을 포함해 잊힌 유물들이 든 은닉함을 발견했지. 유감스럽게도 햇빛을 보며 나오는 순간 두 도적이 그대를 덮쳤다. 근처를 걷던 여행자가 실랑이를 보고 유물을 되찾도록 돕고자 싸움에 뛰어들었다. 둘은 열심히 싸웠지만 암살자들과 달리 무기가 없었지. 둘이서는 할 수 있는 일이 아무것도 없었어. 여행자는 현장에서 즉사하고 그대도 몇 시간 후 그 뒤를 따랐다.
That man's name was Al Worth. You were each in possession of a sacred coin, called Charon's Opal by some. And so it was my duty to bring you here.
플루토가 말하길 저와 엘이 가진 동전이 마지막이라더군요. 당신한테 그게 무슨 의미죠?
It means I am now bereft of purpose. There is nobody else to ferry here. Nobody to keep you company. After 5,000 years, the underworld has finally run its course.
뭐가 특별해?
Perhaps you have heard the tales of the Greeks and Romans bearing their dead with a coin in their mouths to pay the ferryman for passage across the river. Well, those stories contained a seed of truth, but not any coin would do. A long time ago, my master created 1,000 silver coins and had me distribute them across the world. My orders were simple. Whenever a person died in possession of a coin, I was to locate them and ferry them here. It means I am now. There is nobody else.
이승으로 보내줄 수 있어요?
In keeping you here, but I have to ask one thing: that you keep this to yourself.
Look, here comes Al now. Al, it's so good to see you. You were gone so long, I thought I'd never see you again.
Kinda lost track of time in there. You wouldn't believe what we found. The ruins of a long-forgotten city. And there was a tablet describing an oracle who confronted a god and undid an ancient curse.
Sounds like quite a story, and I look forward to hearing all about it. But you two look exhausted. Why don't you hop in my boat and rest while I ferry you back to civilization?
Sounds good to me.
And you? Are you ready to go home?
가자. 가자. 1년 후다, 1년 후. 오! 오! 2승으로 돌아왔어! 살아 돌아왔다. 이 몸 부활. 와! 캬! 펴! 에리야?
Hey, you made it. It's great to see you again. I read your book, and what the critics said about it. I guess they weren't ready for your theories about the underworld. Anyway, after everything you've been through, I thought you might appreciate some good news. So after we got back to the real world, I started doing some research into the people mentioned in
뭘
Galerius'
발견했지?
tablet, and I found something strange. I'm sorry I've been so cryptic. I've been dying to tell you. I just really wanted you to see this for yourself.
뭔데?
Why don't you head on down there? I'll catch up with you at the other end.
설마 동전이 또 나온 건 아니지? 뭘 발견했을까? 갈레리우스야? 왜 있어?
You're finally here. Remember me? It's a crazy story. After you disappeared, Charon appeared and told us she was returning us to the world. Even gave us some coins to help us start our lives over. Only, for some reason, she returned us to your world instead of ours. Anyway, I know we only ever had that one conversation, and I wasn't even sure if you'd remember me, but I wanted to say thanks for freeing... Oh, I used Charon's gift to buy a farm in Umbria. Got a villa on it too, with enough room for two.
둘리를 얘가
It's
보살펴주나봐.
hard work, but I sleep soundly every night. I'm finally my own man, and I wouldn't change it for the world. I know. I can't believe my luck either.
약혼해서 같이
But
살고
we're
있대.
engaged and living together. We're planning to get married next spring. If you're going to be around, we'd love to see you there.
탈모는 못 고쳤다고? 탈모인데 이쁜 여자랑 사는 얘가 위너 아니야?
Of course, there's a whole museum full of people waiting.
Oh, hello.
You're here. It's lovely
누가
to
위너일까?
finally meet you. Galerius told me all about you. So, you're the hero who somehow vanquished the last of the Roman gods. As I'm a priestess, you realize you've put me out of work. I'm just teasing. Actually, and it still feels a little sacrilegious to say this, I'm finding life after religion quite enjoyable.
집도 있고 농장도 있고 예쁜 여자 약혼자도 있고. 탈모가 mom지하러 갔다고? 아니야.
Galerius and I are engaged and expecting. We've just bought a lovely villa in the countryside
집도
with
있는
room
사람.
for a large family. It feels like the world has just opened up for us. There's so much to learn and so many more possibilities for our children than we ever imagined. Oh, it's sweet of you to ask. She recovered nicely. In fact, she's here somewhere, if you'd like.
애들이 다 돌아왔나봐. 근데 나 걔 못 살려고.
Hello. Galerius said you're very nice and a big helper. I live at Treasure? Oh, I forgot about that. I like my... Bye-bye.
봐봐.
Hey.
Hi there, I'm Horatius. I understand we have you to thank for giving us a second chance at life. And reuniting Scintilla with us as well.
내가 황금으로 만들었지. 답이 없었어.
I'm living up north and studying in the military academy in Modena. The world's changed still. The ones who pioneered up. Ah, you remembered that. In the words of Epictetus, remind your... Thanks. He's not my... he had more trouble. He got himself disqualified from
UFC
the UFC.
선수가 됐다고?
So he started some kind of underground blood sport tournament, like we had in Rome. Suppose it appealed to people's baser instincts. And they say he made some... But his luck finally ran out. And his life... Yeah.
오빠.
I take it you're the Oracle. Thanks for coming. Actually, I changed my name to Cynthia. I didn't want to be associated
예뻐.
with Sentius after what happened.
아니 예뻐.
I'm not sure if you heard, but after you drove Pluto off, Proserpina emerged from the Great Temple. She knew right away what none of us had figured out about that psychopath. He'd been keeping my little sister locked up in the upper cistern all that time. But he's been dealt with. He's You know what? The important thing is we'll never see him again. Anything I want. I'm a woman of means. in a
돈
vast
엄청
new
많이
world.
줬나
I can
보다.
go wherever and do whatever I please. Of course, I mostly just stay in my villa and have my servant Alexa summon things for me, because it's just awful out there.
돈을 얼마나
Barbarians
준 거야?
everywhere. He's still there, all alone. The
황금
last golden
조각상이
statue
됐대.
in the underworld. Trapped in a metal shell, slowly losing his mind until the end of time.
아,
Eternal
환전시킨 거야?
Just what he deserves, if you ask me.
하긴. 거기는 황금만 들고 와도.
You too. See you.
아빠, 근데 되게 예쁘네.
Lucy is fine. I'm making an effort to. If the world knew we died 2,000 years ago and were suddenly brought back. Speaking of which, I wanted to say thank you in person. I'd say the gods smile on you, but I'm studying to get into
의대
medical school.
들어가려고.
As much as I resented the responsibility of keeping everyone in the city alive, when it ended,
똑똑이네.
I realized I missed.
율리아 어딨어?
Ah, she didn't make it. She died from poison while you were in the Great Temple.
아, 내가
She
이거를
was a good
바로 그걸로 돌려서 그렇다. 이거 내가 다른 거 같이 하면서 다 그 시키고 사람들 모아라 이렇게 했어야 했는데 내가 그냥 바로 그냥 사람들 모아라 이래가지고 애들이 죽었네.
It wasn't your fault. Decius is to blame.
내가
He's
죽였네
here somewhere
이거는.
too. Not that anyone would talk to him. I'm not even sure. You too.
어쩔 수 없지. 모두 다 살 순 없어. 어쩔 수 없어. 오히려 다행일 수도 있어. 너무 많아 애들이. 너무 많아. 이거 다 봐야 되나 싶어. 지금
I am reacquainting myself with Greece.
얘 다 말 걸어야 되나 싶어 지금. 너무 많아.
Years, I barely recognize it. This is at once heartbreaking and thrilling. Perhaps one day, once I have seen all of this.
애들이 근데 다 부자가 됐어.
Ah, the poor sweet thing. Perished in a shrine
아,
collapse before
역시
the rest of us were saved.
죽을
It is the
운명이었던
honor
애들은
that I
다
have in all
죽었다.
this.
그쵸? 내가 못 구한 애들은 다 죽었다.
You too.
아니?
I take it you're the oracle everybody.
그것이 너의 운명이지 뭐.
It's a pleasure to
예차까지 뭘
finally
돌려.
meet you. We have. I never thought I'd leave that cave. let alone the city.
필립이구나
And
영감이.
now I'm living in the 21st century, and it seems I'm working. Not that I need the money. My son.
봐봐.
Some soiree,
미친
innit?
거 아니야?
Ah, hello at last. Listen, I wanted to express my sincere appreciation for what you did. If it wasn't for you, I'd never been able to sell all those useless old relics. Whatever you did in
알았어?
that temple made me a most great. I took the money I made from selling my trinkets and
주식에
started investing in the stock
투자했다고.
market. That's where the real money is now.
주식 투자했다는데?
I was hoping to ask your advice. You being the oracle and future seer and all that. Oh, I can't decide between fossil fuels, tobacco, gambling. Oh, don't be like that.
망했으면 좋겠는데. 망했으면 좋겠는데.
Oh, of course, yeah. I was just thinking the same thing.
잘 가라.
Of course.
잘 가라. 잘 가라.
Good evening.
You're here. But thank you. I'm living in Rome again, in a charming little flat by the Tiber.
얼른.
After we lost Ulpius, I spent a lot of time reflecting. I couldn't shake the feeling in the end. So I'm told. And you?
Bye.
Wonderful.
Bye.
Greetings.
bye.
Thank you for your kind words and for liberating us all. In all the time I was in the underworld,
내가 죽였어. 맞아.
I'm recovering. She's... Ah, you remember that. Men have called me mad. But the
광기가
question
가장
is not
고결한
yet
지성인지
settled
아닌지는
whether
아직
madness
미완으로
is or is
남았다.
not the loftiest intelligence. And you?
뼈뼈. 너무 많다.
Oh, of course, I too would like to offer my thanks. For a time, I returned to Alexander. Instead, I have decided to follow. I spent the first 25 years of my life avoid.
그래.
Indeed.
빠빠. 너랑은 그렇게 좋은 인연은 아니야, 빠빠. 뭔가 죽이고 왔어.
I wanted to thank you personally for
게이게이다.
getting us out of... I'm studying to be an architect again. And living in
건축가다.
a beautiful... Of course, it's improved immensely since I was there. You natives of the 20... You know, looking back, nobody's heard from him. You too, if you...
빠빠. 너도 빠빠.
Hello there.
센틸라.
I go by Gabriella now. I didn't want to be
이름을 다
reminded of that
바꿨네,
monster every
딸들이.
time I heard my own name.
프로세르피나가 와서 풀어줬고.
Don't worry.
마음은
I'm
짓네.
living by myself on a little vineyard in Umbria. It's something Ulpius and I used to talk about.
울피우스를 내가 죽여서 혼자 살아.
That's what he would have wanted. But it's
아씨, 울피우스 살아있으면
I don't know what I'm
괜찮을
doing.
텐데.
And it's just not the same without him.
내가 죽였어.
Mostly. Oh, it's hardly. Thanks.
내가 죽여서. 진짜. 와, 근데 이거 다 거기서 본 거예요. 도시에서 다 본 것들이야. 이거 봐. 이거 다 거기서 본 애들이야. 조각상. 아니, 안 해. 죽으면 그만이지 뭐.
There you are. I hope you enjoyed that. Now, there's one more person I wanted to introduce you to. I think you know her.
프로 거시기 오는 거 아니야? 프로세피우스?
Sorry if I frightened you. Just a little joke I've been saving for a long, long time.
누구세요?
Allow me to introduce. I am Proserpina.
프로세르피나
former
맞네.
goddess of the cycle of life and renewal, and now a regular mortal. I wanted to meet you in person, and thank you for freeing all these people and me. I hate to think what would have happened to us without your intervention. Indeed. Suffice it to say that while Pluto was controlling the eyes and ears of each golden statue, I was able to control their tongues and whisper to you when he was distracted. I am sorry my messages were so cryptic. There were only ever brief windows. I did. I may have given up my immortality, but I still retain my gifts as the goddess of the cycle of life and renewal. After witnessing Pluto punish countless poor souls over thousands of years, I knew this generation, the final wave, would not survive. So I tried to give them a way to buy more time. A second chance. Rather, as many second chances as they needed to avoid the loss. So I whispered to Sentius in secret, telling him the prayer required to create a portal in my shrine. I knew the danger of humans being corrupted by godly power, and so I put a safeguard in place. I required the creator of the portal to sacrifice their own life, so that it could only be used selflessly to help others. What I did not anticipate is that Sentius would retain his accumulated memories from each previous day, and as a veteran soldier he had long since shed his fear of death. He quickly discovered that he could, in effect, prolong his own life indefinitely by exploiting the cycle. Of course, once I had taught him the prayer, I could not unteach him, and there was little I could do but wait for someone like you to come along and see him for what he was. We were all fortunate you came along when you did.
플루토는 어떻게
I don't know what
됐어요?
happened to him. I haven't heard from him, and I rather hope it stays that way.
카로는?
Oh, she inherited dominion over the underworld. Last time we spoke, she was working on a new world of some kind. She wouldn't say what it was, but I'd be surprised if you don't run into her again.
플루토는
I
엘리시오로
imagine we all
갔겠지?
will, one day. And
빠빠.
you, although it feels like I've known you forever. Oh, and one last thing. Do you remember all those golden statues scattered throughout the city? Good. Because they remember you.
날 기억하고.
Well done, my friend. Of all the heroes who ever journeyed to the underworld and returned, none came close to achieving what you did. Hercules, Orpheus, Theseus, and Aeneas would be proud.
나 근데 성에 있는 거기 그거 내가 다 황금으로 만들었는데. 내가 다 황금으로 만들었는데. 으이. 와! 아, 진엔딩입니다. 아무것도 안 하는데. 예스. 빰빰빰빰. 와, 재밌다. 진짜 재밌다. 와, 이거 재밌었다. 이거 자꾸 스토리 반복 때문에 좀 빡칠 뻔했는데 재밌다. 엔딩이 진짜 완전 좋았다. 완전 좋았어.